Okay, my name is Greg Sullivan. I'm the director of the Positive Coaching and Athletic Leading Master's Program at the University of Missouri. And we're starting these series of brief interviews with leaders and coaches in the athletic world that we believe have shared values with our program to highlight their work and their ideas. And we're calling the series Mizzou Positive Columns, 6 questions. And so why 6 questions? Well, the 6 questions were chosen as it represents the number of iconic columns you see over my shoulder that located in Francis Quadrangle at the University of Missouri. So these columns represent resilience, grit, and other positive values of this university and hopefully of our program. I'm very excited to be able to speak this morning with Coach Steve Bieser, head baseball coach at University of Missouri. Coach Bieser has been at Missouri since 2016. But has gotten off to a historic start with most wins over the first 3 seasons, more than any other baseball coach in Mizzou history. Coach Bieser started his coaching career at the high school level in St. Louis and moved to the college level at Southeast Missouri, SEMO, where he was named head coach after briefly serving as an assistant. Coach Bieser played at SEMO and was drafted and played 13 years in professional leagues, including the major leagues with the Mets and the Pirates. So, Coach Bieser, thanks for being here. I'd like to start with a question, if I could. That's not one of our 6 questions. And does the name Cesar Tovar mean anything to you?
Yes, I've heard that name and do know just a little bit, but not in depth.
So Cesar Tovar, when I was a kid collecting baseball cards, he was a player for the Minnesota Twins who I think he was the first player in Major Leagues to do it. He played all 9 positions in one game. And I know that you played all 9 positions during your professional career. I was wondering, what's the most you played in one game?
As far as the positions that you're talking about?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that twice, and I had a manager in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and low A ball that decided that he wanted to kind of showcase my versatility because I was playing several positions throughout the course of the year, and really had brief stints, whether it was a week-long stint at shortstop or catcher, which was my normal position, or outfield, and he decided late in the season that he wanted to showcase those skills and had me play each position, 1 inning at each position in a 9-inning game. Of course, it had to be a home game so that we could get all positions in. So no, that was very enjoyable. I think it was something that kind of just gave me a little bit of notoriety during that time, and in the Phillies organization, it kind of allowed me to start. After that year, it kind of started shooting through their system and getting to AAA pretty quick after that.
That's terrific. It's real. I got to be honest. It's exciting for me to speak to someone who played for the Mets. I grew up in Brooklyn, and my sports awakening was in 1969 when it was the Mets, the Jets, and the Knicks all won championships. But the Mets was really what drove me into my love of sports. And if you want, I can go around the horn. Jerry Grody behind the plate, Don Clendenin at first, Kenny Boswell at second base, Bud Harrelson short, the glider, Ed Charles third base. But you don't want to hear all that.
No, that's exciting times. I know that was quite a gritty bunch during the late '60s there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because Gil Hodges was the manager, and he really embraced Brooklyn. He embraced living in Brooklyn. And he was just a beloved guy, and for them to have that success in 1969 was really it was a great time to be in New York.
The amazing Mets.
The amazing Mets, exactly. All right, so let's get started with our 6 questions, Coach. First one: what does positive coaching mean to you?
When I think of positive coaching, I immediately think of servant leadership. Someone that leads with moral authority. A person of character, somebody that listens closely to understand and then speaks clearly to the situation. Somebody that puts people first, shows care and concern and is compassionate. So, the positive coaching part is something that we really try to do. And I also try to make sure that every member on my staff understands that, we're here to serve our student athletes and really just go after servant leadership in everything we do.
That's terrific. I'm a big fan of servant leadership, and I've been studied a lot of Robert Greenleaf, the kind of the founding father of servant leadership, and I think that servant leadership and positive leadership are synonymous. So I'm on board with that. When do you enjoy your role most?
The most enjoyment I think that just about any coach gets is when they see their players succeed and they reach their ultimate goals. I mean, that's the highlight. You know, for us at the University of Missouri, we're going to have, you know, 7 draft guys per year. And just to when they get that call that they get a chance to extend their careers and go on to play professionally. And then others, you know, that ultimate goal is winning a national championship or winning a championship. And that's something that we're really striving to do. Every player that comes in our program, they tell me 2 things that they want to do, and that's to win a national championship and play professionally. And I always have to add, and get your degree. But you know, it's something that they all strive to do, and you really want to see everybody reach their goals.
You know, and that's become a hallmark of your career at Mizzou is the winning on the field and off the field. Your players do quite well in the classroom.
Yeah, we really want, you know, to take a holistic view of how we're coaching each player, and everybody has different skill sets. And even though, like I mentioned earlier, that every one of our players want to play professionally, some players get, you know, a year or 2 years into the program and realize that maybe not. You know, they still hold out hope, but it may not be something that really looks like it's sitting right there in front of them with a real shot at making that. But you know, that's why we want to make sure that we're doing it from, you know, the one thing that we talk about all the time is, you know, for the players in our program, you know, we want you to go out and be great husbands and fathers and provide and all those things. And we really have to do a lot of different things, and we have to be versatile and not just get so caught up in just baseball only to develop young men.
It's like the old Amos Alonzo Stagg question when they asked him if he was a great coach, and he said, you know, I won't know for 20 or 30 years.
Right.
Exactly. So third question, what advice would you give to a younger you?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty easy. I think the younger coach, myself included, the one thing that I probably did too much of was talk. You know, I wanted to talk and coach and let my players know how much I knew about baseball, and when I should have been listening and caring and just been a little bit more compassionate sometimes to their needs. So I definitely would say it's spend less time talking.
Okay. What fourth question, what's your most important habit? Do you have an important habit?
Yeah, for me, I think my most important habit is just being routine and disciplined to that routine, as well as being capable of making adjustments. I mean, in our sport, and players go through a lot of different things, and even though I've got a very good routine and it allows me to be more efficient, you know, there's going to be players that have issues and come in the middle of the day and kind of break up that routine. And it's so important to be very adjustable and being able to adjust on the fly has a lot of, you know, it has a lot of need in the coaching profession.
Absolutely. Fifth question, what's the best idea you ever stole from another coach? They say coaches are great thieves.
Everything. There's nothing original in my coaching. You know, I've been so fortunate to have played as long as I did and learned from a lot of really big time major league managers, Antonio La Russa and Bobby Valentine and Gene Lamont, and the list goes on, as well as all those in the you know, in the minor leagues. I mean, those were very smart and educated coaches on the field and really, you know, knew how to develop. So, you know, just very fortunate there. And yeah, I can't really think of anything that I haven't stolen and used. And, you know, you're always trying to perfect everything that you have, and you're trying to make it better. But yeah, everything that I have is nothing's original.
But it's an opportunity to kind of, you say it's not original, but picking and choosing from all those other coaches then becomes your original approach to coaching. Would you agree with that?
Oh, no doubt. And that's what I tell all of our players. You know, if we're, you know, Missouri has a pitching philosophy and Missouri has a hitting philosophy, but the best coaches is they're going to be their own best coach. And you have to take a little piece from this coach and that coach and make it into your own system of what works for you. And that includes, when they go off in the summer and they play for a summer coach but everything that they've done up to this point has been stuff that they've taken, good and bad. I mean, I think I learn a lot from, potentially I've learned a lot from some of the worst coaches that I've ever had, things that you would not do, and things that that the entire clubhouse and locker room are like, this guy's crazy. Don't ever do that. So, yeah.
I talked to a coach once, and he said he drew a line down the middle of a paper, and he said he wrote on the left side everything that coaches did that he loved, and then on the right side everything that coaches did that he hated. And on the top of the left side, he wrote, "Always do this, never do this." That was his coaching philosophy.
That's a great philosophy, I think, because as you spend that time and they're in it, and our players, they're smart and they pick up on the right things and they know the things that probably are not right as well. And I think it just gives those experiences are very valuable, I think, in everything that we do.
Absolutely. Last question, Coach. If I wasn't coaching, I would blank.
Well, there's no doubt I would be coaching high school mathematics, and that's kind of where I started after I finished my playing days after 13 years of playing professionally, and knew that I was going to be an educator, and I wanted to stay and be an educator on the field. And after all those years of traveling, the one thing my wife and I, we had 3 kids already at that time, and we knew that we wanted to settle down and not travel so much. So I spent 9 years as a high school math teacher at St. John Vianney High School in St. Louis, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And for some reason, it just something I felt compelled to at least try the college game and go back to my alma mater and be an assistant coach. And I kind of fell in love with the college scene. But it would definitely, I would still be a high school mathematics teacher if this opportunity wouldn't have come along.
Well, if I can share a compliment from what I've heard, that you're still one of the best teachers on this campus.
Well, I appreciate that, and that means a lot, and because there's some just outstanding, professors and coaches that's been on here on campus, and just the history that this university has. It's just, it's kind of surreal, and just it's always kind of been. Once I got into college coaching, this has been the number one place for me as a born and raised Missourian, and just the passion and pride that I have for the University of Missouri.
That's awesome. Coach, any closing words, anything you'd like to share with the players, fans, in the midst of everything we're going through? And
yeah, I think the biggest thing is that, this time will pass. I think it's been a real struggle for all of us and all the things that we're going through. But, when you think about positive coaching, you also need to think about a positive lifestyle and count the blessings that maybe some of this, the COVID-19 put upon us, of being able to spend more time with our family, to slow down a little bit and really realize that, that we are going to be okay, that we'll get through this, and just enjoy the time. And even though times are different and we know we want to get back to some normalcy, of just really staying the course, doing the right thing, and always being positive.
Optimism and gratitude. That's a great message, Coach. Great way to end. So thanks so much for your time, and thanks for all you do for Mizzou athletics.
Well, thank you. I really enjoyed it and appreciate your time as well.
Thank you.